go, bud.
God.
No, we're not allowed
I
to discuss
died laughing.
Welcome back to the Crystal Avenue Podcast, Season 2, Episode 2. It's here. It's finally here, and we have three lovely guests with us today. We have a returning face, Jakob.
Hello.
We got a foreign exchange student, Damian.
Yeah.
And then we have Dane.
What's going on?
So, we have an icebreaker now. What's your guys' craziest or worst drug experience?
Jacob, you want to start with that one?
Should I go first? Okay.
Yeah, don't
Let me think.
Dude, it's been a week. You should have known this. You should have known this.
You really should have been prepared.
Let me think. Well, there's a few. Like, there's Should I talk shrooms or should I talk weed?
Don't matter. Just any.
Well, the shrooms one wasn't necessarily me, so I'll go with the weed one. So, there's one time, and it was sophomore year, and me and a couple other fools are at lunch. It's food fair, so we have an hour lunch, right? And one of my friends, he's got a pen. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, for reference, I didn't really start smoking weed that often when it was that area, but I felt pretty big. Okay, like I was calm. And time, I was having some dietary issues, so like I didn't eat all day that day and like before, so my blood sugar completely down the drain. I'm anemic. And so we go in the bathroom and like I'm fucking hating life, and I take a couple blinkers off the pen in the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm chilling, like this is fine. I've smoked weed before. And we get walking out of the bathroom, right? And instantly, I'm like, yo, shit's fast. Like, everything is so fast. Why are these fools walking so fast? And I never considered that I was going extremely slow. Like, I went full slow motion at that point. So we walked back to the tree from the bathroom, which is like the area where like we all kind of hang out, and then like everybody wanted to just like walk to the parking lot to like, hang out with the cars or whatever. And I'm like, you guys should slow down. And I tell them, and they're like, wait, what? And that's when it gets fucked, like totally just beyond gone for me. Basically, I start tripping hard, like extremely bad, horrible trip. Like I could feel my pulse, and my vision would like go with my pulse, and like it was as if I was watching a movie that was like spinning but like pulsing at the same time. It was so bad. Like I just was so gone off my ass, and I had to spend the next 2 periods in the office.
What?
Well, no, I didn't get caught or anything because one of the friends with me, he was like, okay, we'll just chill in the office. And then one of the cool counselors, my friend was like, yeah, no, he's just high. And he was like, oh, okay. And so we basically just stayed in there. I'm having a horrible trip right now. Like I'm just like so badly like far gone. Like I'm trying to like lay my head down and close my eyes and just like fall asleep or something, but it's not working. I'm seeing like colors and it's so bad. It's awful. And they because of the food fair, they had like a box of like cupcakes in there, right? and I got really bad cotton mouth. And the counselor comes out and he's like, "How you doing?" And I'm like, I nod my head and I'm like, whatever. Just I'm so far gone. And then he picks up a cupcake and decides to shove it in my mouth. And it's like, you just got the munchies. Like, tells me this when I don't. I just have like really bad.
He forcibly.
Yeah.
He
Fed
put
you
the
a
cupcake
cupcake?
in my mouth, and that just makes my mouth even more dry. So now I'm just like gnawing on just like batter and like frosting. It was horrible. And school ends. I walk all the way back to my dad's house. I just try to like keep minimal eye contact. I'm stumbling all around, and I just like stay in my room rest of the day, just completely gone. And yeah, that's
You were stoned the whole time?
yeah, I was all day.
Jesus, you were smoking PCP, my guy.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, are you sure that shit wasn't laced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man's did
Not-
coke or something.
Doesn't sound normal to
Jesus.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. I still smoke weed though.
How'd you wake up the next morning?
I felt fine actually. I felt pretty good.
Yeah, you were on coke, bro.
Definitely wasn't a normal tree. That reminds me though, my buddy Mitch packed me this monster bowl not too long ago, a couple weeks. I didn't think I was gonna snap it. It was a fat ass brimmer overflowing the bowl. I was like, buddy, you just fucked me, man. I'm not gonna be able to take this. I took the bowl, and then we were driving home from Cam, and I couldn't really see anything. Like I was tripping the whole time. I was so blown. Like my body was like vibrating. I was sitting next to my homie, and he was just laughing at me, and like it was pretty bad. I didn't know what was going on. They were saying shit. Like my buddy Mitch was just saying some fryer ass shit that was making me all nervous. It was so funny. One of the worst drives of my life, though.
That was it?
I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, like, I guess that was just similar to.
Like, how were you feeling? Were you like
Jacob's.
nauseous or?
I was pretty nauseous, but the worst part is like, I didn't want to move, and we were going golfing, and I just really did not want to go fucking
Golfing.
Just sounded like the last thing I wanted to do. But you know what the funny thing is we did go golfing, and it actually fucking saved me. Went golfing and just completely fixed everything that was wrong.
It's a distraction.
Golfed like a goddamn champ. Could have won the PGA Tour.
Alright.
My worst. I mean, it wasn't the worst experience, but it was just. It sounds like it would be. Like I had me and Garrett, because Garrett would always try and get me to come aside and go on his bathroom run, you know. And we went right before my Spanish class, and it was at the end of the school year, so it was finals, and I had the speaking final, but I completely forgot when I went with Garrett, so I went get schmacked, of course, and then I go back to class, and I have to do the English final right in front of the teacher with another student, and the whole time I was crossing my fingers, hoping not to get a certain person, and then lo and behold, I got the exact person. I got my ex, Mary, the big M, and I have to sit in front of her and talk to her in Spanish for a good like 15 minutes, just straight Spanish. I can't stop laughing. I can't say a full sentence without just bursting out laughing. I can't look at either of them in the eyes. My whole face is red. I was dying. It was horrible. But then immediately after that, I sat back down and I just I forgot it even happened. So it wasn't that bad in the long run. But you know.
Did you pass?
Yeah.
I got a C. I got a C somehow.
Honestly, I'd take the C. That shit sucks. I hate the Spanish test.
I took it. That C.
Especially when you have Bradka.
Bradvica's a horrible teacher.
He's always on fucking cocaine.
Has anyone ever had Bradvica like in the morning?
Yeah, I had her first.
That shit must have been horrible.
She does like 3 lines.
It's like 8 in the morning, everyone's tired
Yeah.
of shit, and she's making you like dance and shit. It's like nobody wants to do this.
Oh my god.
Never
bullshit.
had her. I have no idea what she does,
Really?
but that sounds horrible.
I fucking damn. She's wild.
I had a gnarly drug experience a couple months ago.
All right, go ahead.
Went on this cabin trip with 3 of my friends,
Mhm.
and I think Jakob and
This one.
Damian have heard this story. This is pretty gnarly. So
Mm.
we wanted we'd been planning this cabin trip for like months, so we knew exactly what we were gonna do. We were gonna get there, we were gonna drink, and we were gonna take a shit ton of acid.
Oh.
So we brought these gummies that were just soaked in fucking acid. Like the bag was dripping with acid. That there was that much on them. And we got there like at night. We drank, got destroyed. Woke up in the morning, and it turns out that my buddy's dad, who also went with us, brought his own acid. He had his own tabs.
Oh.
So he's like, "Hey, you guys want to take ours and we take yours?" And so we did. I took his dad's. His dad took ours. And for the setting, we were at this this cabin in the middle of like buttfuck meth head country, like woods, middle of nowhere.
Mhm.
But there was this river, and there was this beautiful gorge where like it was almost like a waterfall, but there was this like bunch of like cliff jumps and stuff. It was really beautiful. But we just spent a couple hours there. It was a good trip. I was having a good time. And I'm pretty glad I didn't take what we brought, because oddly enough, my buddy's dad and my buddy's uncle who took our stuff, they were destroyed. Like they didn't move the entire day. They were in these like those rubber tubes that you just sit in. They did not move. And what ended up happening is his uncle was too fucked up and couldn't walk, so they had to drag him up the rocks, like up the gorge,
Holy-
and like all the way back. There was like a 10-minute walk to the cabin that we were staying at. They had to drag him the whole way there. And then he fell asleep, tripped it out in the room. Same with his dad. But my buddy, I'm not gonna give his name just because I don't know if he wants people hearing this story, but we'll call him Jerome. Jerome decides, I'm gonna take another tab, bro. I'm gonna take another one. So the thing is, it wasn't just one tab. It was a gummy that had like probably 10 hits on it. It was so much. It was literally dripping out of the bag. He took another, and then my other friend was also going to take another, but he didn't, because Jerome drops one, and then he looks in the bag that he was holding them in, and he's missing one. He's missing one. He has no idea where it went. And that kind of just sent him in this loop, like he was tripping, like, where's this goddamn gummy? Did somebody eat it? Did I lose it? Like, we were there with some young kids as well, like maybe like middle schoolers, elementary.
Yeah.
They were young as fuck, but we started to worry that they had eaten one of the gummies, and there was a solid like hour and a half of just this dread like hanging over me, like, did one of these fucking kids take a gummy with 10 hits of acid on it? This is fucked. And I remember sitting in this circle of chairs, and one of the kids was sitting in his chair like with his legs up on it, rocking back and forth and like looking up and around, you know, like he was nervous or something, like he had anxiety or some shit. And I was tripping my nuts off. Like I didn't even know what was happening. So I was looking at him, and like, I just thought, like, this little kid is tripping his dick off right now. Like, he doesn't know what's going on. He just ate a Sour Patch watermelon. And 30 minutes later, he's off his ass. So that like sent me, I just like all of a sudden felt like, holy fuck, this kid is destroyed. What are we going to do? Like, we're fucked. But we ended up realizing that, well, this is what Jerome had told me. He said that he left the gummy out on a table, and then his dad found it. But apparently that didn't even happen. So I don't know. I was confused when he told me that. But at the time, he thought that his dad found it. And so what happened is he apologized to his dad, but his dad was pissed at him and was saying, like, when we get back from this trip, you're fucked. Like, I can't believe you left that gummy out, or some shit like that. But that sent him into this like thought loop, you know, like, I don't know if you've ever tripped, but everything always seems like worse than it is, and you always overthink things. I think he just got caught, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And like, eventually he was talking to me and he couldn't put anything into words. Like he couldn't focus on what was in his own brain to put out like words. So I was trying to help him, like, dude, you got to talk to me, what's going on? But he just couldn't. He couldn't talk. Like I don't know how else to describe it. One thing he did was texted his girlfriend, "Will you marry me?" out of nowhere. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're not even out of high school. Why'd you just text her to marry you? And then he didn't respond. Like he tried to, but he didn't. He couldn't speak. And he kept looking at his phone and like mouthing words and like texting. It looked to me like they were having a conversation over text. And then all of a sudden he looks up at me and he's like, dude, it's a turn down. It's a turn down. Like she rejected the marriage or something. And so he starts like breaking down. He starts crying or whatever. And then like 5 minutes later, he calls his girlfriend and he's like, I'm sorry, we're done. We're broken up. And then he just slams his phone. And I'm like, me and my other friends, we were like, what? Like so dumbfounded. Like, what did you just do? What? Like he just asked her to marry him. And then 5 minutes later, broke up with her. And I was like, dude, give me your fucking phone. You are retarded right now. And my buddy, we'll call him Ronald. Ronald takes Jerome on a walk, like a little nature walk, because sometimes it helps, you know, like taking your mind off things if you're tripping too fat. So I'm up there with my other friend. We just split into like, you know, two. We're chilling at the cabin. I grab his phone, Jerome's phone, and I look at the conversation between him and his girlfriend, and she never even responded. He said, will you marry me? And she never even responded. So this fool thought he was having a conversation with her and thought she turned him down, but she never did. Like that never happened. Random ass thought loop. But this whole time I think everything's fine and they're just on this walk. But it's the complete opposite of fine. About 30 minutes later, my buddy Ronald comes running back and he's like, water, I need water now. And I chuck him a jug and start running down the like road to where they were. And I see Jerome's dad and he's like, Jerome's dad is fucking this big ass dude, Jack dude. He's like, get the truck. He's dehydrated. We need to drive him up. And I'm like, dude, I can't drive. I'm off my ass right now. I didn't even listen to him. I just kept walking. And I run all the way down to where this like long staircase is that leads down to like a path that goes to the gorge. And Jerome's sitting there surrounded by his uncle and then my buddy Ronald, who are just kind of trapping him on the staircase, because this is what happened on the walk. This is from Ronald. So they're on this walk and the whole time Jerome's just tripping nutsack. He still can't put anything into words. The whole time that he thought Ronald was his girlfriend and kept trying to make out with him and stuff and like all kinds of shit like that. And then he starts like sprinting around, and then at one point he just kept losing his clothes. Like he lost his shirt and then his pants, and then he was just in his underwear. And then they were on those steps I was telling you about. And he calls Ronald. He's like, hey, Ronald. Buddy turns around and then just rips his pants off, butt ass naked completely. And then Ronald's like, what the fuck are you doing? Put your pants back on. We're in like public, not really public, but like a neighborhood, I guess. But rips his pants off. Ronald's like, put him back on. And while trying to put him back on, he eats shit and falls down the stairs, like hitting his head and his neck and shit on the bars and stuff. Falls all the way down the stairs, then puts the pants back on. And then I don't really know what exactly happened, but all I know is he just took off, ran like through the woods, ran back and just jumped like head first into Poison Oak. Bro. Threw up. And then so what Jerome told me later on is he started eating dirt because he knew he was tripping hard, and he's like, if I eat something, then it'll flush out the acid. So he just started eating the ground. Like he just started shoveling dirt into his mouth. And that's why when I got there, I was like, why is he covered in dirt right now and only in his board shorts? Like he looked like a fucking caveman. But the whole time he was at this point just completely gone, like full ego death, lost. There was nothing we could do about it. we trapped him on the stairs so he couldn't run anywhere. He kept trying to run away and stuff, and it was like any noise he would like get scared at. So his dad and his uncle had to carry him back to the cabin. It took him probably 30 minutes to get him up because he kept falling and running and stuff. Finally got him back to the cabin, and there's like this deck on the cabin, and we laid him down on it and started hosing him off because he was covered in dirt and shit. And that was the biggest struggle of my life. Like, he was trying to choke his dad and other people and like pushing us off and stuff and like shoving the hose down his throat. He, at one point, this is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. He flipped himself over so he was on his stomach, put his hand down his pants, and just rammed his thumb up his ass. I don't know why he did that, but he did, and I watched it right in front of my eyes, and it was fucking hilarious. But yeah, he was completely insane. He was saying just really tripper shit like, "Oh, it's the eye, it's the eye, it's the eye," or like, "I have to kill myself," and shit like that. There was one point where we had a lot of like, we had a bong and shit and like some weed and whatnot there. So his uncle knew that and said, just in case like paramedics come or any intermission, put it away. So we hid it. But when his uncle said paramedics, Jerome heard that and just yelled at the top of his lungs, "Paramedics!" And you got to remember, like, we're in the middle of nowhere, so you could hear that shit for miles. And there's like, we're not in the middle of nowhere, but the neighborhood is in the middle of nowhere. So there's houses around us, and they definitely heard it. It was really loud, and I was fucking scared. But after a while, we kind of just left him there. Like, his dad was still holding him and talking to him, and he started shaking like violently, like a seizure. And I just remember I had this sudden like feeling of relief. I was like, he's dead. There's nothing I can do about it. He's dead. Not like relief, but you know, where like every feeling just goes away for a second. You're just like, wow, this is happening. He just died right in front of my eyes. But he was fine. He calmed down, came out of it. There was one point where his dad, who was also tripping his dick off, was leaning over him on the floor, and Pink Floyd was playing, and it was really dramatic music. And he's like, his dad's like, "I brought you into this world." He's shedding tears. He's like, "I'm not gonna let you die." And then he starts like punching him in the stomach. And I was sitting there like, what is happening right now? This is not real. This is not real.
Oh
But yeah,
It's
he calmed
it's
down.
so hard. It's so hard to not laugh looking at your picture. While you're telling the story.
Oh.
I haven't been able to breathe since you started. Oh my god.
That's pretty much it. I mean, there was one other funny moment. This is just the weirdest thing ever. This neighborhood we were in, it was in like Northern California.
Yeah.
And every night at 8 o'clock, the entire neighborhood, everyone that lived there, would howl at the moon like a wolf.
Oh, fuck.
Everybody, like hundreds of people, just howling.
Oh.
And just imagine like you're tripping your face off, and you just hear a bunch of howling like everywhere around you.
Yeah.
That fool, I just remember he heard it, and he's like, "Oh, I hear the air raid sirens. We're gonna die." And his dad, of course, was like, "They're not fucking air raid sirens." But
Jesus.
that's pretty much it.
Wow, what a fucking experience.
It was wild. I couldn't imagine though. There was two little kids that were like maybe 10, and then there was 3 girls, his sister, and then their friends that were like 13 or something. But they had no idea what was going on the entire time. They didn't know.
That must have been dramatizing.
No, I'm telling you, the kid, like, so his uncle, his son and daughter came, and his son was one of the ones that was like 10 or whatever. And his son brought his friend. This is confusing, but his friend is the one I thought who took the other gummy because he was shaking and stuff. He hid in the room for the rest of the night. Like, he was shook. Like, what the hell just happened? And I was like, we're fucked for sure. Like, we're getting in trouble for this. But we never did. We never
Damn.
did. No one ever spoke of it. Not even the next day. Nobody spoke of it.
Jesus.
I have a similar story to that where it wasn't necessarily me who freaked out, but another person I was with tripped a little bit too hard. And so basically, okay, it was me and two friends. We'll call them John and Eric. Okay.
Hmm.
Just for reference,
John and Eric.
John is the one to freak out. So
Alrighty.
you know, it's like 1 p.m.
Classic.
and we go to pick up the shrooms. We decide to buy 14 grams of shrooms, which is a lot. And by like 3 p.m. Eric shows up and we go to the park, communal route. Oh no, not communal route. Fuck, what's it called? The park with all the mountains, you know?
Arroyo?
Yeah, Arroyo Verde.
Alright.
And so we're walking. We get to the back of like right before like where the mountain starts and like where you go to the baseball fields, you know?
Uh-huh.
And we sit at a table down there and we decide to, you know, take them. So I take about like 1.5 grams, which is a pretty decent dose. And my friend John and Eric decide to do, I think it was 3.5. And at one point, my friend John has like a fistful full of, you know, magic mushrooms in his hand. And he just goes, fuck it. And just does the whole, like, a fucking, as if he was like downing pills or some shit like that. So he totally takes a fistful of shrooms. And then we're like, okay, nice one, good job. And so we decide to hike up the mountain. We also had a joint with us too, as well. And we get to a spot that we're like, okay, this is cool. This is a chill spot, like probably like almost more than halfway up the mountain. And basically, we set our blanket that we brought with us down, and you know we're sitting there, we're just chilling, not really feeling it too much, like just feeling a little bit of like okay, like I'm a little bit high, like I can feel it, but you know we wanted to like really feel that shit, and so we, you know, have music playing, and we're like, okay, let's smoke this J, and so we're smoking and chilling, listening to music, beautiful ass music, feeling prideful as fuck. And about like an hour passes, and me and Eric are just like chilling, looking at the clouds and shit like that, seeing all the pretty shit, making things like looking like shit, just tripping out.
Yeah.
And my friend John, he goes, I think I'm freaking out. And we're like, you okay? And he's like, I don't know. And we're like, well, if you don't like want to talk about it, like, we'll help you, you know. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, like, and he's like, okay. And then he just like sits there and is quiet, and you know, me and Eric are just having blasting. And John's like, okay, yeah, I'm chilling. And then we're like, okay, cool. So we decided to walk up a little bit, and from the area that we were at, you could see the out, like all of our city, right? And it just looks super pretty, you know. I'm just tripping out on that. And then again, John goes like, yeah, I think I'm freaking out. And we're like, wait, what? And he's like, I'm pretty sure I'm freaking out. And then we're just like, okay, man, like, you're chilling, just take deep breaths, you know. You can start walking around and stuff. And he's like, okay. So, we do that. We start walking down this the mountain, and at this point I'm so gone. Like stumbling down that mountain, like I was literally like Crash Bandicoot, like just like side to side, like slithering around. I was having a blast. I was a bird flying down. And we get to the bottom, and by the time we get to the bottom, it's like super dark outside. Like it's past sunset. And so we're there, and it gets a lot darker, like really black. It's like closed eye visuals with your eyes open, if that makes sense. Like everything's black, and so you're seeing lots of colors and shit like that. Like you're making out. And usually when that happens, I purge or vomit, and it's not a bad thing. Like it was funny as fuck because I'm like leaning against this tree, just puking and laughing at the same time, and Eric's just like comparing me to a South Park character or whatever. And then we like go to the swings, and then Eric starts going on the swings, and he's giggling his ass off, just having a blast. And then we decide to walk some more, and John's like, the Indians are watching us. He's like, look, man, and he like points to just the dark, okay, and like nothing's there, but he's like, they're looking at us, and we're like, okay. So
they were real. He saw real Indians.
I don't even know.
Make fun of him, but he was really seeing.
They were there,
Nah,
eh?
I'm sure you saw fucking Native Americans watching us. But so then we turn this corner, and like this is around like Christmas time, so like people still have their Christmas lights up. And like we turn the corner, just see a bunch of Christmas lights. I gasp really large and scare these two people trying to get in their house, which is really funny. Like we turn the corner, I'm like, because everything just looks so pretty to me, and they turn all quick and look at me, and they're trying to like open the door into their house, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
My bad.
So we start walking down this really long road. Like it's understandable that it would trip someone out, looking down this super long road. And John's like, I have to piss really bad, and I'm like, why don't you just piss in the corner? And then Eric reasoned with me, like telling me, like, no, that's why people like get arrested for public intoxication, is because they fucking think they can piss wherever they want. And then I was like, oh, that makes sense. And so we're walking down, and John like kind of freaks out, like this a little bit more anxiety inducing for him, and because he's just got pissed really bad. And so we get to the spot where we want to go, and because I wanted to go to CVS, so John can use the restroom. And we get inside CVS, and it's fucked. It's fucked. Like everything looks like it's plastic. Like even the people, the guy like at the cash register just like says nothing but like stares at us, and it's like it's fucked. And
when you're in a public space, does it feel like everyone knows you're tripping?
Yeah,
and like
everybody's looking at
you. Yeah.
But so we turn right, and like where the bathroom is, like it's kind of like it connects to like where an employee only space would be, but like it's a public bathroom, And so like we walk to it, and we realize that you need a code to get in the bathroom. So I'm like, oh fuck. And then like how like in grocery stores or whatever, they have like announcements on the intercom or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That happens, and John is like, dude, we're gonna get in trouble. They're looking at us. We shouldn't be here. We can't be
the
here
Indians.
right now. And we're like, no, dude, we're chilling. Like it's just I don't even know what like it's fine. And he's like, dude, we can't be here. And we're like, no, man, it's chill. And so I bravely enough sacrificed myself to go get the code. So now I have to go and talk to this man that was staring at us and ask for the bathroom code. Remember that code and be able to put it into the padlock, and which I somehow managed to do, but it's fucked. And so we get inside the bathroom, and we're just like in there, all of us take a piss. John takes his piss. Everything seems chill, right?
Mhm.
John's feeling a little bit better. And so we decide to walk out of CVS, and we decide to just stand on the wall and just like sit. That was fucked. Like that gave me anxiety too, because like people were walking in and out in CVS and like looking at us, and it was just fucked. And then right next to the CVS is Foster's Freeze, and we're like, okay, fuck this spot. We'll go into the Foster's Freeze and just like sit and hopefully interact with nobody.
That must have been gnarly. Probably like some 50s vibes the whole time. Like Foster's.
No, the exact opposite. It felt like we were in the future. Cause
Whoa.
so there's like 4 tables on like this little tiny like inside dining area basically, because like most of the stuff is outside. But like there's a little like it's dirty in there too, and we all sit down at this table. There's this guy across from us, and he just has what to me looks like a mountain of food, like
Oh
an
yeah.
like a whole table of food, all just for him, and he's eating it all. He's just gorging down and like just everything. Okay, and he like keeps looking at us too, which like gives me anxiety because he's just like staring at us while he's drinking his big ass Coke and shit. And at one point, I make eye contact with him, and he decides to nod at me, like, "What's up?" I was like, I just put my head down, and I was like, "Fuck this, dude! I can't do this." And and at one point, like, John like starts like clenching his fists and like opening them like really fast and stuff like that, and his hands are like all red and stuff like that, and he starts like crying. He's like,
God.
he's like saying some stuff that I can't like make out, but he starts crying, and he's just having like a full on fucking breakdown. And me and Eric are like, yo, you okay? And he's like, just fucking tears all over. And it's like, okay, we need to like start walking. You want to walk? And he's like, yes, please. As he's like bawling his eyes out, which probably just looks super fucked to this guy, this fucking asshole with this mountain of food.
Props to you for keeping it together.
Oh yeah.
When I'm tripping and other people are like freaking out like that, it always makes me like trip. Like, oh, this guy's fucked. What if I'm gonna be fucked in a second?
Yeah,
Like,
I
always
had
sends
those
me sideways.
I had those thoughts a lot in the back of my head, but like I felt a like motherly role take over me because like usually like I've tripped with these guys like twice before that trip, okay? And usually honestly I'm the most fucked one. Like I'm the most like gone. And John is usually the one taking the motherly role because he's like he's done a lot of psychedelics, and so it doesn't face him as much, and it's just like it was uncomfortable for me to be in that position to like have to be the least fucked one, and have that motherly role of just like, okay, I have to control this because if I don't, I'm gonna freak out.
Yeah,
And so
it's
we
weird
start.
that's the same exact case as the cabin trip I was just telling you guys about. Jerome was like a master tripper in my eyes, and then all of a sudden he like freaks out like that.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's like a complete reverse role. It's
Mhm.
very weird. And so we start walking down, like VC College, right? Like that big long road or whatever, to start walking back to John's house because that's like where we're gonna spend the night, right? And John starts doing this like laugh, yawn, cry,
What a
all
guy.
at the same time. And it's so uncomprehendable because me and Eric are like, he starts laughing a little bit, like a like it what seems like a laugh, and then it turns into a cry. So we're like, yeah, you're doing good. And then we're like, oh, are you okay? And then he starts yawning. And then it goes back into a laugh again because we're laughing at him yawning for no reason. And like he just starts looping that over and over again for like almost like an hour of just the same thing. So now John's stuck in like a loop of just this weird yawn, cry, laugh thing. And we're almost at his house. We're like a block down, and I'm like, okay, we can't like let his parents see him like this. So we like sit down, and I'm like, dude, you need to like, collect yourself. Like, come on, man, come on. And like, I'm starting to get almost like irritated. Me and Eric start getting like irritated at him. But we don't like show it, but like it's frustrating because you're like,
No,
snap
I
out
know
of
what
it.
you're talking about.
Uh,
When it's like, dude, like, come on, pull yourself together. Like, this is ridiculous.
And where he calms down a little bit. He stops his like little yawn, cry, laugh thing, which is progress, we think. And we're like, okay, so we're outside of his house, and we're like, let's just like chill in my car, wait for you to like calm down a little bit more. And then he's like, I just need to lay down, man. I need my bed. I need my bed. And we're like, just lay down in the back of my car. And so he's there, and me and Eric are just in the passenger seat. We're just chilling, and John's just in the back. Like he lays down, and then he sits up, and then he lays down again, and he's just trying really hard to get comfortable. And he decides to like sit up, lay his head back, and put his hands on his knees, and then just be as stiff as possible. That was his form of being comfortable. And then we're like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do, because we needed to find a way to like just get in his room. And his John's sister starts texting me at this point. He's like, where are you guys? Like, why hasn't John answered his phone? And we're like, we're chilling, walking around, we're almost home. Like, because I don't want her to know that he's just completely gone. And so we're like, okay, we're just gonna walk directly into his room, hope that his parents are in his living room, and just like ignore them, walk into his room. That's it. Close the door, do nothing. And so we're like penguins, single file. Of course, both his parents are out in the living room, okay? His mom is like, John, but we ignore her, okay? And she's like, John. And we just go straight into his room. I close the door, and I'm like, okay, no. And she, like, okay, thank God, we are finally safe. This is the safe house. It was not. It was not at
It
all.
was not.
Because I thought, like, okay, that was it. We're just going to go to bed. This is over. Thank God. She comes to knock on the door, and she's like, can I come in? And we're like, and I like creak open the door, and I'm like, sorry, just like, not doing good right now, sorry. And then she was like, what? And like she was just trying to find out what was happening, like being a parent,
Mm.
trying to be good, but we can't. We're trying our best to like not let her. And so I basically closed the door on her.
Oh god.
And then like she comes, and so he's just there like sitting on this stool in his room, and we're like, okay, man, you need to calm down. And he was like, oh God, I'm so gone. And also when like she first initially came, he saw him, and I looked at John, and he was so far gone. Like just looking at him, like his eyes were like all red, and like his sunken in eye sockets, and he looked so far, so far. And so then we're like, okay, let's all just like lay in bed. And we put John in the middle to like comfort him or whatever, Eric and me on the sides. And just like shifting around the whole time, like just tweaking out, like he keeps flipping, turning and shit like that. And every time we close our eyes, he's like, look at me in the eyes, like look at me. And we're like, what? And he's like, just look in my eyes. and then he like stares in our eyes, but like we're an inch away. And then he's like, okay, okay, okay. And then he looks into his hands, and then he looks into our eyes, and then we're like trying to go to bed now at this point because we're just so fucking done. Like we're like, I'm not, no. And then so we'll close our eyes for like another 5 seconds, and then he'll just, so this starts like another loop basically, of where he's just like, open your eyes, look into my eyes, and it was that really fucking pissed us off. And at one point, he was like, I feel like I should go there. And he points to his door. And I was like, no, like, you're fine here. And he's like, but I feel like I have to go out there. And we're like, you should stay in here. And like, we're just trying to convince him to like, just stay in the room. And he's like, are you guys holding me hostage? And like, no, dude, I just don't want you to get in trouble. And he's like, why would I get in trouble? And then it was just fucked. And then finally he like just sits on his stool and he's like just chilling there. And his mom comes in again and they start talking. And I'm just like, I'm just done. So I like just chill on my phone and I hear from the corner of my like ears, okay, like I hear them talking. And he's like, yeah, I'm like tripping really hard on shrooms right now. And like he tells that to his mom, and I'm like, oh,
What?
fuck. Cover blown. And she asks us, she's like, why aren't you guys like this? And Eric's like, well, you know, just everyone reacts differently. And so now I just feel like a really bad friend because like I'm trying to like lie to his mom for him. And yeah, it was just really bad. And she decided to leave. And she was like, okay. And oh, yeah. And like, John was like, I know you probably hate me so much right now. And he's like starting to sob again. And his mom's like, no, just like disappointed. And I was like, why did you say that? And he starts calming down like way more. Like he becomes like a lot better. And then his sister comes in the room. And then, you know, he tells his sister and they start like having a conversation. I think, I don't know, it just started freaking me out, honestly, because like I turn over, I'm like tripping, I'm feeling super comfortable in his bed. And I'm like, what y'all talking about? And then she's like, nothing. And I'm like, you don't know how to act around people with shrooms. And then I just turn over and like go on my phone again because like it felt very hostile from her. And I was like, that was just mean.
She said that
That's
to
her
you?
average speaking tone.
She said that to me. I know. I literally, that's exactly how I sounded. I was in bed and I was like, what y'all talking about? He was like, he looked at me and like really sassy look too, by the way. Okay. My interpretation is completely fucked too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm tripping balls.
No, you
And
could
she's
you
like,
could just sense things though, man. I believe
yeah,
it.
no,
Yeah.
exactly. And so she's just like, nothing. And I was like, oh. I just was,
Ew.
I don't know. It just felt very, it hurt my ego.
Yeah.
I tried explaining to her too. I was like, you don't act like that around someone on shrooms. And she was like, what? And I was like, I just gave up at that point. And, John, you know, he stops freaking out or whatever. He's done. And then he actually like realizes, he's like, wow, I really freaked out. And we start like giggling about it a little bit. And then we just like, yeah, end up falling asleep or whatever. And then morning comes, we all wake up, and John, you know, goes out, talks to his mom a little bit, and it's like 9. We're just like completely drained. Okay. And he's like, yeah, you guys should probably leave now. And we decided we had to leave out of his garage. And
Why?
I don't even know. I think he just didn't want his mom to see us. And yeah, and then I drove Eric home, and then yeah, that's pretty much it.
Damn.
That's a story and a half for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was
Jesus.
quite a
Ate
wild
a-
time.
ate a whole large box of popcorn
Oh.
for that whole thing.
And then I did shrooms again last week.
On that gang shit. I've never done any of that shit.
It's quite a time.
It's fine. Just make sure you're in a controlled environment.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
with
I'm
the
gonna
right people.
yeah.
I recommend it.
I've tripped before with this group, and there was one guy in the group who I'd never met before. It was first time hanging out with him.
Yeah.
And he told me like he just knew my life. Like he told me a bunch of
What?
shit about my past and stuff. Like he's like, you have a gray cat with a white strip.
This motherfucker's a god.
What the fuck, dude? How do you know that?
Bro, your friends must have told him just to
No,
mess with
no,
you.
no,
Like,
no. There's no way because I was with him the whole time, and he's like, I was like, what's my middle name? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And then my friends were like, what initial does it start with? And he's like, M. Just guesses it. Like, I was like, what? Dude, what? And then he told me like, in your old house. And also, Damian, nobody in my friend group knew this because I wasn't even friends with them at the time.
yeah.
He's like, your old house, you had a step in it, like inside the living room. And I was like,
What?
how do you guess some
What
shit like
the
that? How do you
fuck?
just guess that? Like,
There was a step in your
I don't know how I guessed it.
Bro, that would piss me off if somebody said that to me. I would honestly get mad.
I didn't know what to think. It was tripping me out. I was like, how do you know my life right now? Like, this is not casual at all.
This is
It's
not
not casual.
That's the word you use to describe. It's not casual right now.
It's
dude.
not casual.
What, Jacob?
Do you wanna talk?
Yeah,
about-
Devin said
Yeah, let's do.
some Swedish
Bro,
stories,
nothing
eh?
happened, bro.
Really?
Literally nothing happened. I don't remember seeing anything. I don't remember feeling
You don't-
anything different.
You don't remember anything at all?
No. Like, I remember, but like,
Nothing
I just
happened.
don't remember anything changing. You know, just everything was funnier.
Damn.
Like, I laughed at everything. It just felt like, normal other stuff.
That happens. That
But
happened at my house a couple weeks ago.
but I remember one thing that weirded me out was the same Josh. He was like to me, he's like, dude, you realize that what we think we're doing is normal? Everyone else is looking at us like weirdos right now. I was like, no, they're not. We're literally walking down the sidewalk, all three of us. Nobody thinks we're weird right now. And then I started overthinking. I'm like, do they
Hey,
think
yo, he walking
we
funny.
look weird? Like, he described it like we were, you know how Conor McGregor walks
Oh, no.
when he like walks into the ring. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of what he made it seem like we were walking like. It's like I am not walking like that. I got annoyed by that.
What's
No,
weird
that's
is
a good way to describe it.
in public, like I always trip on like other people staring at me and shit. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they know I'm tripping. But this one time I went to a Grateful Dead show. It was actually
Uh-huh.
it was around this time. It was by Christmas, but last year. And at this Dead show, it's the Grateful Dead. Like everybody in the entire building is tripping on acid. Like everybody there was destroyed. The entire room, like this big ass. You know where the Forum is in L.A. Big ass like
Mm.
it's like a stadium kind of shit, but it was closed. I don't know. It was hotboxed for like 4 straight hours. There's so many J's in that goddamn fucking building. But I didn't feel uncomfortable there because I knew everyone around me was also on some kind of drug. So I
That
don't know.
must
It
be
was
such a
nice.
weird feeling.
It is
Like I can't
weird, but
imagine that.
I don't know. It's you get this sense of like euphoria. Like I just belong here.
yeah.
Like everyone else is like 60 years old and tripping their nutsack off wearing fucking tie dye, dude. It's sick. I remember my buddy Rafe was there and we were in the bathroom. And this bathroom is, since it's at the Forum, like this stadium area, there's a shit ton of urinals. Like it's just this really long bathroom with an entrance on each side. And there was probably about 20 stalls. And I was on one side, and my buddy Rafe was on the complete opposite end. And I remember I was taking a piss, and I just look up and look to my left, and like 15 stalls down, I just see my buddy Rafe, and he looks up and looks at me, and there's nobody in between us. Somehow we're the only two. Bathroom's filled, like 100 people in there. I just see my buddy Rafe, just give him a nod real quick, smile, and then just continue my piss. It was a really glorifying moment.
What a highlight.
Mm.
Jeez. So Damian, do like people? There's drugs in Sweden, right?
Yeah.
But is it like? Is it like?
There's drugs in Sweden.
Yeah. Is it like culturally like? I don't know how to really put it together, but like, is it accepted there as it is like in America? I think?
Not the same, no.
No.
It's more everyone drinks, you know? It's just because I don't know. That's just the culture. Everybody drinks in Europe. Like that's all of Europe. Like all my friends have gotten drunk with their parents,
Wow.
and it's just it's just something I can't understand being from California.
Oh. A bunch of
You know
bar
what country
fights over
goes
there.
hard on the drugs?
Which one?
Croatia.
Croatia.
I have some Croatian girl on Snapchat. She lives there, and she just sends me videos of her friends like smoking and drinking and doing like speed and shit and acid.
Wow.
It's fucking weird, dude.
Bro, Pakistan
Pakistan.
and Afghanistan. Oh my God, it's crazy there. I want to go so bad.
You want to go to Afghanistan?
I want to go. Yeah, I'm gonna go there with my Afghan friends because they're gonna keep me safe, you know.
Oh, yeah, he's a
But they
foreigner.
told me it's not bad. Like as a U.S. citizen, you can go to Afghanistan. They won't care. They don't like the U.S. Like they don't care about the people. They hate like Trump and all the everything
They
to
hate the
do with.
government of it.
They
Yeah.
hate the government. Yeah, and everybody there says free California, you know, because they want California to become its own country.
I wouldn't see any issue with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd leave, but I wouldn't see an issue with that.
Oh my goodness.
What the fuck happens in Afghanistan though that you want to
Yeah.
see so bad?
Bro, oh my God.
Suicide bombers.
Afghanistan, bro, Persian food is the best food in the world. And I
Yeah.
want to have real, authentic, from Afghanistan, Persian food. There's something about it that is pulling
Classic
my
Damian being
whole
a fat
body
ass,
there.
man. Every single time. It's always food, bro. It's always food.
I promise you, Dane, you come here, you try it, you'll never want to go back to the US again.
In Afghanistan?
I'm sure I wouldn't, but I don't know about Persia.
Persia.
I expect you to say like, bro, they have really good alcohol, not like, I want to try their food.
And there's this strand called Black Afghan.
Strand?
Yeah.
What do you mean strand? What are you talking about?
Strand, you know? Like
No,
Hashish, my friend.
What the fuck are you saying right now? A strand. You mean
Yeah.
strain? Are you talking about strain?
Strain, yeah.
Mm.
Black Afghan. I've heard of that. I've heard of that actually.
Afghan.
It's A1, baby, A1.
God
Promise
bless.
you.
You should surprise me with some of that if I ever go.
It's not gonna be a surprise. You'll know.
Oh,
you can tell. You can really tell.
God bless.
Things just as bad as the Indian people do, you know.
Jeez, bud.
Hey, that's not racist. That's just truth.
That's
You
just.
know?
I mean, it is
I know you
against
have to
their
defend
religion
yourself.
to shower every day, I think.
Oh.
I think. I mean, it's
I
just.
don't know if I just made that up or not, but I've heard it
I
before.
think you did. Yeah, pretty sure you did. It's
Dude,
just.
no, they don't shower like on a regular basis.
I'm looking that up right now.
Dare you? Do it.
Indian
Dare you?
people shower on base?
Because I remember there was this kid
We
that went to my
Indians
middle
do
school.
bathe as any other country.
They do bathe.
No, dude,
However,
that's not
such
true.
a personal question It's such a personal question and not a nationwide behavior. During
Oh,
summer, it might be 2 or 3 times a day, and most of the time we take baths daily, as I believe every other human on Earth does. That's
Jesus Christ.
What the
no, no,
fuck?
no.
What could it be? What could it be?
Oh,
It's because they cook with strong spices, right?
mm.
And the spices are really, really thick, and they stick to things. Like they stick to clothes, carpets, like they stick to everything in your house if you cook with it.
What?
So, because obviously they cook with Indian spices all the time, it just sticks. That's just how it is. So it makes all their clothes smell a certain way.
Fuck? This just
Yeah,
sounds like
That's
mustard
very interesting.
gas.
it sounds like mustard.
I mean, they smell like like I don't mean to like be rude, but they smell terrible. Some of them, like I've been friends with some Indian people,
Mm.
and it's just unbearable. Like
No, I'm
Anik
kidding.
was fine. Anik was
Anik-
like a different breed
Anik's from.
of
Wait, is
Anik
he
is in
from?
New York,
He's
dude.
not Indian. He hates Indian people.
He's
Yeah,
he's
Pakistan,
Asian,
I
isn't
think.
he?
yeah, Pakistan.
Okay,
yeah.
Anik's
Most of
Well,
my
crazy.
friends are
I've
from
heard about that.
Pakistan. I won't
I've
lie.
tried to convince him that Pakistan doesn't actually exist. You know what?
was
It was
born in
working. It was
Pakistan.
working. I know. I just told him like you weren't actually born there. They just said it was Pakistan, but really you were like I said something like you were in India, and they just said it was Pakistan.
Wow.
It's never been a thing.
He hates
Almost
India
had
with
him.
a passion, I'm pretty sure.
all Pakistani do.
Yeah, didn't they have like a feud or some shit for like freedom?
Well, you know, like the whole
That's like.
fucking I will bring honor to Pakistan. One of those is
And
like
destroy India.
To
Destroy
sacrifice my
India.
own life for Pakistan.
Like the Pakistani people at my school get thoroughly heated if you call them Indian. It's funny. Like they'd actually fight you if you call them
What they
Indian
say?
too many
There is
times.
no passion.
There's no
There's no
passion.
Sebastian.
There's no aggression on this football club. Nothing is there.
Oh. All right, we're gonna switch up a bit, okay?
All right,
What are some wild conspiracy theories that you've heard of?
Dude,
Garrett Downing here. Garrett needs to be in here right now. If Garrett
Actually,
came in, his dad knows
His-
all the crazy conspiracy theories.
his dad's a flat earther, and it's rubbing
Yeah.
off on Garrett.
Really?
Like Garrett actually
Yeah.
believes that shit.
I
He gets
know.
defensive when
It's-
you're like, dude, your dad's retarded. The flat Earth's not flat.
know.
It's like, no, listen to this. Listen to this.
Just listen.
Just
It-
hear him
it
out.
actually makes sense, though, dude. It makes sense.
Hear him out, bro.
No, I did. He was. Some
You
of it
did,
is
yeah.
kind of convincing, though. I won't lie. Like the fact
with you
that
there.
NASA has, like, they've said that they photoshopped their photos of the Earth.
Mm.
All of them are photoshopped. None of them are just pure pictures of the Earth.
Yeah,
And there's a
obviously, 'cause
picture.
It would look stupid. It would be all blurry. It's a
yeah. They
picture in
also
space.
Photoshop like
No, 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 no.
stars.
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no,
so
no,
you
no,
know,
no, no,
like
no,
the-
no, no.
Oh no!
Listen,
You know,
listen,
like the Apple
listen.
pictures?
No, you gotta listen. You gotta
Alright,
let me
okay.
finish.
Alright.
There are comparisons between two of their pictures where the United States looks like half of the world. It's huge on the globe that they published. It's just the sizing difference is so obviously fake.
Oh, they're
I don't
just
know.
trying to. I mean, they're just trying to flex. Let's be real.
They're
It's
just
just
trying
the
to flex.
Photoshop, bro.
The world, the world is round.
I don't know about no flower.
I mean,
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying facts are facts.
No, I've actually seen some videos, and it's like, wait, hold up. Like it'll really make you
Wait a
think.
minute. It's
Yeah.
I don't.
that one
I don't
meme,
really
wait a minute.
believe it, but it
Wait a
makes you question it. Like it makes you question it
for
for
sure.
sure.
I think one big conspiracy that's really popular right now is like the whole thing with adrenochrome and all of that. Like
That's not a conspiracy. That's fact.
Wait, can you
Like-
explain that to me real quick? I don't know. if I-
Adrenochrome?
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
basic,
Oh, I would love to explain this.
Oh no, I know what it is. It's the. Is that the fucking chemical from like dead
like,
children or
it's
some
just
shit like that.
No, not dead
when you think of
children.
politicians,
Oh,
are
like
thinking they're eating babies.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not eating babies. It's terrifying children
oh, like
and
Monsters
like
Incorporated, bro.
just pretty
Torture. It's
much,
from
pretty much.
torture.
Not yeah,
Yeah, no,
torture,
yeah.
but
When you torture a
in
child, it produces a
a
certain
huge,
like.
a
It's like a
huge
youngin'
amount of
thing, right?
adrenaline, and it's
They
super
like take
pure,
it out
I
of
guess.
the adrenaline
Yeah,
chromes
Whoa.
or the adrenaline
yeah.
gland.
And then they eat it, obviously.
That shit's gourmet,
And
bro.
Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to trying some, but
But like right now, a big like controversy kind of thing is the use of stem cells,
Mm.
which
uh-huh.
is like basically they use like aborted fetuses for
Yeah.
like health purposes or whatnot, and that's actually like I want to say it's like Prop 16 or something on the California
Oh, shit
ballot
like
right
that.
now, and that's like it's a real thing, like,
Yeah.
and also like there's a big thing on I forget what it is called, but basically it's like they use the foreskin that's
Whoa.
cut off from babies, you know, like
Uh-huh.
when they're first born, and they like basically like blend it up or something, and they like use it for like face care, and that's why like a bunch of like older celebrities have like such nice skin or whatnot.
Yo,
Sounds delicious.
bro, my foreskin's on some bitch's head right now.
you know that's the thing. I've also heard that they use like shit from aborted fetuses for flavoring for potato chips,
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
and that's why
Really?
they sound or they taste so good. It's because it's aborted fetus. Like,
Aborted fetus.
There's
yeah.
this one guy that I follow that like, man, he has some crazy like he's real deep in the whole like he thinks that all like the celebrities and politicians are all like devil worshippers and
Hmm.
that they just big pedophile rings all over and that COVID-19 is a scam and that Bill Gates is trying to kill everybody with the whole vaccines and all that. It's insane. It's crazy stuff.
Bro, my older brother is convinced right now. Okay. Have you heard Hillary Clinton do anything?
No.
What do
Like
you mean?
anything. In the past couple months, have you heard anything about her?
Not really, no.
He
Uh,
is
Really, no.
fully convinced she's locked up in prison right now. Like,
ooh.
because she got COVID, right? And then she disappeared. He
I didn't know.
fully thinks she's
Let
locked
me
up somewhere right
hold
now.
on. Before we make that claim,
For
Hillary Clinton. Let's see what latest news is.
Yeah. Hop into that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think she's still around.
And Cedar Rapids.
I got
A
no
little
clue
bit.
though. Really.
While you're doing your research, this the same guy I had like a Instagram argument with him basically because he was trying to claim that Steve-O was a pedophile
Steve.
because he had a really dumb tattoo of him having sex with a baby on him, and that was that was his only evidence for like he was posting this stuff on his story of just like crazy photos of him, but like just one little bit like of evidence that Steve was a pedophile because he has this dumb tattoo that he got covered up, by the way. And it was so funny. And like I full on like argument with him.
Wow. Evo.
Oh, another thing about pedophiles
Mm.
that I got really annoyed with, and I really wanted to have an argument, but I was going to sleep, so I didn't have the like energy to do it, was someone posted on their Instagram story, right? Because Machine Gun Kelly came out with the music video to Forget Me Too with Halsey,
Yeah.
and they said, "You guys actually enjoy this pedophile's horrible music? You know you know he called a 13-year-old sexy when he was 19."
What?
And I tried to find it. I've been trying to find it for a while. I haven't found anything of him calling a 13-year-old sexy. I'm pretty sure
Jamie, could we
the
pull that up
time
real quick?
yeah.
What
I've been
if
the only thing I can think of is him
being
calling like Haley attractive. I don't, but she was 16 or something.
ooh.
But it was a joke, obviously. And not only that, he's 30 years old now. Like that was 18. How many? I'm retarded. 11
For-
years
Forever
ago.
ago.
11 years ago. And to think that you're calling his music trash just because he said something that allegedly happened 11 years ago annoys me because it's not. I would understand if he actually physically did something, but there's no proof he did anything. There's no proof he said anything that I've seen. If anyone has proof, I would love to see it,
I
but I haven't
think
seen
I know what you're
anything.
talking about. He tweeted at
Oh yeah.
Eminem's
Aliens.
daughter,
Yeah,
who
that
Yeah.
was
no, but that was a
16.
joke. She was 16 too. She said 13. I mean, they said 13.
Yeah. But I think that's what this person was probably talking about.
I mean, then that just makes them look stupid because they don't even know the facts. Like,
Well, the media is pretty goddamn retarded. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You mean like how what's his name? Yeah, Keemstar said that kept lowering the age of the girl that
what are you talking about?
Basherverse was in contact with. Remember that?
He was lowering the
First.
age.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Let me see
from
if I can. Let me
16
see if
to
I can find
15.
that. Let me see if I can find that.
Let me see if I can find it.
Damian likes to hate on Keemstar. I personally think he's a good fucking newscaster, man. He's a good one.
He's really
Good one.
not.
Look,
He's
he's
not a
biased.
newscaster
He's
anymore.
biased.
He's not the news anymore.
How is
Yeah.
he not the news? He displays
He's
what's going on.
no, he doesn't. He
But
said it
his opinion.
himself. Kavos has said it. His good friend Kavos says he's not the news. He's just Keemstar. He just does. He just posts what he wants. It's not the news.
It is the news.
It's not the
Look.
news.
How is it
I
not the
think
news?
It's like
Can you
calling
tell me?
Fox News the news. It's just not the news.
Okay,
Keemstar
now
News.
okay, yeah, you've got a point,
Man,
but it's still entertainment, and I don't see
it's
him doing
entertainment.
anything
It's
wrong.
entertainment
I don't
for
see him
sure.
doing anything wrong.
Yeah, he's
He's
not
done
doing
wrong
anything
shit in
wrong
his
anymore.
past, but can you name like one person other than like fucking Mr. Beast who hasn't done some bad shit in their past? Like,
Well,
come
Mr.
on,
Beast.
come
Mr.
on.
Beast is under controversy too for
No,
having a
he's not.
horrible. Well, yeah, he is.
Really?
For the cheating
Yeah,
shit with the TikTokers,
not
is that what you're talking about?
cheating. No,
What?
no. He had. It's because he apparently he gives. He doesn't pay his workers enough, and he makes them work way too much, and he doesn't like allow them any extra time and stuff. It's just like
That was a long time
decency.
ago.
Yeah,
That
it
was a
However,
was.
long time
yeah,
ago.
you know.
And
But still,
besides, he enters them in
counts.
competitions to win
Yeah.
items or money worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I would
Hey,
not care at all.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying.
What I think
You
is
said
probably
He's
the
under
most
fire. Yeah.
insane.
Okay.
What I think is the most insane thing that he's gotten away with. No, well, you'll know. Is 6ix9ine being a
Uh-huh.
pedophile
Mm.
and like nothing for it. Like there's a
Yeah.
whole video of him like doing all these sexual acts with like a 10-year-old or
Yeah.
something with another person.
She was
Wasn't it
13.
with
She was 13. She was 13.
the Catch Me Outside girl? Didn't he do
No, it
some shit
wasn't.
with her?
No.
No, it wasn't. No, it was like way before he really
started
got
his
big.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
he was like
Mm.
19 or something like that, and like
Yeah,
this
she was
girl was like
13. She was
she was
13.
like drunk too. She was intoxicated, and it was insane. And
Yeah.
what was that? The Breakfast Club. Like when he was on there, who was it? Who's the guy that like is just goes off?
Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, it was so good because he literally like turned to the side and he was like, "Are you a registered sex offender?"
I
That
remember.
fool is
Yeah.
so funny, bro. Remember when he asked
No.
Logic? He's like, "So who
Yeah.
registered this?"
Dude, the way what's his name? 6ix9ine explained it by saying he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. How are you at the wrong place to rape and abuse a 13-year-old drunk girl? I was
Well,
at
I
the
think
wrong place at the
Yo,
wrong
wrong
time.
place, wrong time. You know what
Wrong
I'm
place,
saying?
wrong
Wrong
time,
place,
wrong
wrong
what
time.
time.
I think is
It is
so
what it is.
funny.
I can't do nothing about it no more.
What
Like,
I think is like super 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 funny is the fact that he was like, "No, man, you could look it up," and he's like, "Oh well, I did, but you can't trust me." And
You
it's
can't
just
trust
this whole argument was just gone after that point. It was just like,
Yeah, I
yo,
know.
Didn't he snitched though on his former gang? That's why he got away with it. Probably got a little leniency from the
Yeah.
fucking judge, and then
N-
paid the rest
That
off.
was
No.
that was completely unrelated. He got
Oh,
let off
really?
of the pedophilia
Mhm.
way before that.
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did he have money at the time? I'm sure he just
I
paid that
mean,
shit off.
he was, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was just starting to blow up when the trial was
Yeah.
ending.
Damn, court settlements and shit.
And that's
Oh,
just
I
the
remember.
whole
Yeah, I remember that. I knew he
system,
was in
the
trouble for
US.
some shit, but I didn't know what it was.
Oh, isn't he on
Yeah.
house arrest right now?
Mm, probably. I think so. Still, yeah,
Damn,
probably.
what's he doing at Gucci though?
Huh?
Like, I see him out in LA. If I was Instagram and
Yeah.
whatnot. That sounds.
I
He
mean, he's
doesn't.
6'9". He's gonna do what he wants to do, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Probably
just
pays
hate
off
him.
his parole officer.
I really hate him because like
Mhm.
this all his music's trash.
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't be in the position he is, but that's how the internet and social
For the
media
world
works.
is.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
Keemstar Basherverse.
dude.
Lowering me. Let's see. I'm gonna just look up everything Keemstar has ever done wrong.
I'm gonna send you the video I watched about the
I don't
Keemstar
have time.
Basherverse. Bro, the Keemstar Basherverse thing, the
It's
drama
probably
alert video of it was staged. I
what?
that was yeah, there's videos, there's video proof of Keemstar telling Basherverse, he's like, okay, when you say this, I want you to get really like emotional. And then he's like, okay, but then after this, I could just start crying. And he's like, yeah, that'd be amazing. That would be perfect. And then the recording cuts off there. And then, dude, he said, I'm pretty sure he said in the DM, like, yeah, I like staged it, but that's just to make more money off of it. The story is true, but it's to make it even better. Like,
Jesus.
man,
Look,
Keemstar's a crazy guy.
you gotta look at where he comes from. I mean, he literally came from a website where you shit talk other people. Like
Oh, I
that's
know,
what he
Yeah.
I
made
know.
his
That was
fame
like
off of.
that was his like whole job initially. It was just like talk
Yeah.
trash, and he kept getting banned for it.
Alex is
I
just.
Yeah.
personally think he's funny as fuck, and I know what happens, what's going on.
I think he can be. It's
The
definitely
one
not
thing I
mild.
thought was messed up is
The
how
old man.
the old man was fucked. That was pretty
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
But you know who Mini Lad is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know who
Yeah.
He was trashing on Mini Lad, and I've been a fan of Mini Lad for the
Really?
longest time.
Uh-huh.
But
Isn't
the
Mini
thing
Lad
is,
isn't he a
he is. You
pedophile?
can't excuse what he
Yeah,
did, but
he
I just
is.
wish you would have gone a little bit easier on him.
What did he like? I don't know the story behind it.
He
Yeah.
didn't
Mini
do
Lad,
anything physically. He was just
he was,
talking to a girl
yeah,
He's
sexually.
just grooming or whatever.
yeah.
So did
Jesus.
Cryotic. So did Cryotic. Did you guys watch Cryotic?
Yeah, I
No.
remember that.
Yeah,
Bro,
I watched him like in the early days when like PewDiePie was still small.
yeah, he was in the circle of PewDiePie, Markiplier, and like Cinnamon Toast Ken, those
Yeah.
Mhm.
guys. It was
hmm
that was devastating to my childhood right there. And his apology for it was horrible. He pretty much just said, "Oh, I mean, he said, I'm not trying to make it seem like a self-centered," and then he goes on to talk about how like his childhood was bad and he never
Oh
had a
my
social
God.
life. So when he got into the limelight, obviously he
Yeah.
abused it, I guess.
Jesus.
Yeah, similar would be like for me, it would be like Tobuscus, dude.
But
Buskus,
dude,
I
yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
he didn't even do anything though,
He
did he? I
I
didn't.
thought he
know,
got
No,
falsely
he
accused.
but
no,
yeah,
he totally like
yeah,
forced his girlfriend and like was
Hmm.
super abusive and stuff like that. Like would hit her and stuff.
Damn.
Honestly, Topaskis was a G. I'm giving him the pass. I'm giving him the pass off it.
he got the
No
domestic
pass.
abuse pass. He got
Look, it was horrible,
Oh,
but still, I
God.
mean, come on.
Domestic abuse pass,
I'm
maybe.
giving my homie the
I give
domestic
that.
abuse pass.
I don't
But
even think Mini Lad apologized though. That's the worst part. Like,
Really?
I think he
I don't
did. It was
think
just
he.
really
No,
uh,
because That's what all his fans are mad at him for. Because if you look at comments and shit, they're always like, "We haven't forgotten. Like, at least apologize."
Hold up.
He just kind of blew it off, I think.
Let me look
No,
up
he
Mini
did. He
Lad.
did.
Yeah,
It's just
same.
Mini Lad's. I'm looking and it's all of every single one. Mini Lad's apology is hilariously bad. Mini Lad's apology is pathetic.
Well,
Mini Lad's
because I
apology
think
was awful.
within that apology, he did the same shit as like Cryotic did, like made excuses
Well,
and shit.
he's
that are
still
just
making
BS.
videos pretty like frequently. Like his last video was
Jesus.
4 days ago.
Yeah, dude, look at the
Yeah, no,
comments.
I
Look at
mean-
the comments. Something's wrong. We're well aware of that.
He
I'm
did
an
one video that
abomination.
was,
Boy,
like,
was you right.
clearing the air, which could have been an apology. I'm not gonna watch it.
I'm looking at the comments right now, and it's just Leg disapproves.
Jesus, bro.
Sorry, bro, but Leg has spoken.
Hey, bro, how's R. Kelly doing? Holy fuck.
Bob the Builder doesn't approve of this.
Something's
You know-
wrong. I can feel it.
2 YouTubers that haven't been in controversy besides one controversy that I do know of, where they said the T word, the T slur. I mean, sorry,
The
and
T
they barely
slur?
even. Yeah, they
What's the T
transvestite.
slur? Oh.
That's the only controversy they've ever been in.
Who's
Noel
that?
Miller and Cody Ko, the
Oh,
goats.
no, I love Noel Miller.
Not true. Not true.
Not true.
They've
What do you
done
mean?
stuff that wouldn't piss any normal
Holy
people off,
fuck.
but
Like what?
I'm trying to think. I just remember.
Yeah, the
I
T
remember
slur.
he was in a fucking Keemstar vid. Let me see. Let me see.
The T slur. It was the T
I don't
slur.
think I
The
don't
T-slur?
think it was the T slur, but I don't know. I'm gonna look up.
God damn.
Yeah. That's the only controversy of them I know, and they apologized for it because they didn't
Oh!
realize it was bad. What?
Sure.
What?
What happened?
Dang.
Oh no, it was just the video was playing. I figured you guys could hear it, but
No.
I mean, it was like. It was another motherfucker.
Yeah, either them or like has Critical ever had
Critical? Nah, dude.
controversy?
I swear.
Like a real controversy.
Oh, fuck. I think he had one recent. I don't know, but I hope Critical never gets canceled or anything.
Dude,
I
love
doubt
he
Noel
will.
Miller. He's a goat.
He really is. He plays with dildo. He has a
Yeah.
closet of fucking sex toys.
I'm looking at all of them, and every one of them is just him apologizing for not. I mean, 2 of them, the top 2, are him apologizing about not liking Among Us.
Critical.
Moist Critical.
Oh, he loves that game now though.
I know, but he hated it at first. He thought it was
Well,
a
yeah,
stupid
he
phone
just had
game that.
Mhm.
I don't think Swagger
wouldn't be
Souls has ever done anything drama
The
Yeah.
worthy.
N-word thing.
Yeah,
Dude, that
but
fool's
I'm-
old.
That's just his
If any
character
of us,
anymore.
if
bro.
any of us were YouTubers, dude, we would all have that issue.
Yeah.
Oh, it was about vegan games.
Vegan games.
Yeah, with
What?
critics.
Vegan
With,
games. I remember
I
that
haven't heard
fool,
that name in
dude.
a while, man.
Who's vegan
Vegan
game?
fucking
Really?
games, bro.
He
I'll
was
send
him
pictures.
and Leafy had a beef way back when Leafy was the number
Dude,
1
that
YouTuber,
fool
dude.
is
That was a
so
horrible
fucking.
cancel. Was the whole content cop on Leafy was here.
Yeah.
Vegan games?
yeah,
Dude,
vegan games.
he got
Look at
he
this
got
kid.
terminated
yeah.
recently and
Oh,
then just
yeah.
disappeared. Like
Who?
he's gone. Leafy, he came back and then
Oh,
got
he got
terminated,
terminated?
and just hasn't done
yeah, he's-
shit about it. He
I'm-
just
Because his
He's
YouTube
done.
channel got deleted or something. Like
Wow.
YouTube
Yeah,
deleted
yeah,
it.
got promoted.
Card tire. Wait, what is this?
And then Moist Critical actually like kind of defended him on it.
No, yeah, cause I mean, apparently they gave him a warning, but it wasn't even that. I don't think. I think it was like, I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't a good enough warning, I guess.
Nah, I don't think they told him. I don't
They
think they
just-
warned him.
No, they didn't. They
'cause
did it out of the blue.
Yeah, it's because they did a bunch of videos in a row at once and then permit it. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
got 3 strikes at once and then permit.
Damn.
Or
Oh,
something like
I really
two in
don't
a
like vegan games now. I'm looking at his
Yeah.
channel. and he has one on Critical saying, "Pengu's Zero saves cats but eats cows and pigs," and the thumbnail for it just looks awful.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Like it's him holding up a knife that's not even like okay, very clearly photoshopped, and he's like holding it up to a pig, and
Yeah.
Gosh.
fuck you, vegans.
I don't know what it was, but do you guys remember the Doja Cat controversy?
Doge?
Yeah, where
Wait,
she
don't.
said
Wait.
she was gonna show everyone her tits and never did.
Oh,
No,
that
no,
one.
wait, not
She
that
played
one, not that one.
every
Bro,
single male on the planet that
There's another one, huh?
day,
there's another
that
one,
week.
like an actual one, where
What
she
is it?
was in a bunch of like chat rooms
Oh,
with
fuck
actual
yeah.
racists.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember that.
I don't remember all the details to it. I just vividly remembered just chat room with racist Doja Cat.
um, Jesus
That's
Christ.
funny.
Ash Cash.
Ash
Fuck
Cash.
Ash Cash.
Yeah, I
She's so
remember her.
gross, dude. She's not even bad.
I don't know what's the deal with her. Why people
don't
are
know.
obsessed
She's
with her.
nasty. She has like the nastiest C-section scar that's like intense, bro.
C-section?
It's
She has a
See?
child?
What?
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Really? She just slopped that man's.
I swear to God, she posted a pic. She posted a pic on Twitter. I saw it because it went viral, and she was in a bikini, and she has just the nastiest C-section scar. Like, no mean to body shame, but damn,
Yeah.
that's not attractive.
Damn!
No
Jesus.
mean the body shame. But I'm body shaming
But damn, you
motherfuckers.
fucking
Ash
ugly.
Cash, aka the throat goat.
The throat group. Oh, who's trying to recreate the Ash Cash video?
Oh, I see it. I see it. I'll send the picture.
What?
That is pretty
Yeah.
gross.
Oh, the C-section?
Yeah, it's like a line.
Yeah.
Big ass scar.
On the quarter.
That's funny. Oh, it's in general.
Alright, I need to tap out.
Going back to controversies, you
Yeah,
guys
there we
Wow.
notice,
go.
or not controversies, conspiracies. You guys realize or notice a lot of coincidences happening recently?
Like?
Such as.
Well, I could name like probably 400 that have happened in the
Oh,
past
shit.
month, dude. I notice one every single day.
Just name one. Name one.
Name one. All right, the other day I
Yeah.
was with my friend and we were getting if you've ever heard of this drink, it's called Liquid Death.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
just water. It's just water, but it's meant to look all hardcore and shit.
Yeah.
My buddy and I saw it in an Instagram ad and we wanted to go get it, so we drove to Oxnard, got some. And I was like, this is really funny because it's like we just drove all the way out here to get some water. And I was like, it's
Yeah.
just like what my dad does with his friend Brian. Like they go far places to get rare beer and then just drink it, try it, and then that's it. That's all they do. And this guy Brian, I never see him. Like he comes around like once a year. And I swear to God, that same day when I was talking about him, I came home and next thing you know,
Is
Brian
my
walks up
internet
to the
good or
door.
is it his?
damn.
Just walks
Oh.
up to the door out of nowhere. Brian. Barely ever see him, but the one day I was talking about him, he shows up. That's like one example.
Bro, were you with Mel?
I wasn't with Mel, but that's why I got it because I saw him and it reminded me,
Okay.
and I was like, bro, let's go get some liquid
Yeah,
death.
'cause I
Yeah,
saw the
I
thing
was
on
gonna say
story.
because that would be even weirder if you didn't know Mel got it at the same time
Yeah.
as you.
Yeah.
Because I saw both of your posts about it, and I was like, that's kind of weird. Both of you getting.
That's kind of sus.
Liquid death. You
Yeah.
got to go all the way to
Should,
Whole Foods in Oxnard.
Uh huh.
We should compare politics to here versus Sweden.
I don't know anything about Sweden
Oh.
politics, so that's not gonna happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright. So,
Sadly.
I'm gonna call a 5-minute break here. And,
All right.
we'll come back.
That was defo more than an hour.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That shit was fire.
Baby, we live and we roll. That's what we.
All right.
live
Hey,
by.
So
over
you-
here, we ain't no hats. We're all castles, bro.
Oh. Okay. So this is probably like the weirdest one. You come back from
Okay.
school. You go say hi to your parents, but they're fucking. What do you do?
What do you mean? Nothing.
That's I
That's
walk
okay.
back
Look,
outside and
just
wait.
simple door shut and just go back to
Yeah.
my room.
There's
If they
nothing you
didn't,
can do.
if they didn't realize, then I never was there. That's.
What? I mean, what answer were you looking for?
I join or what? Like
Oh,
I
Jesus.
join like I do every night. Like what?
Jeez. How about the classic
Jeez.
question? Like, you either have to
Oh,
watch
like one of those
your
things.
parents fuck every day for the rest of your life,
Uh-huh.
or join them once and you never have to.
Dude, what the fuck?
Every day, watch them fuck, or join them once, never again.
Would you rather tell your parents your first ever sexual experience or watch a gay porno with them? All the way
I'd
through.
tell them.
Watch a
I'd
gay
tell
I'd
them.
tell him, yeah.
Dane, what is the worst sexual experience you've ever had?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd say the time that I was getting some dome and just stopped halfway through.
Oh,
Said, couldn't do it.
Remember.
Can't do it. Sorry. It's nothing much, but she just stopped. Like, I got blue balls. It was terrible. And the worst part is like, I was hanging out with this group of like 4 girls that night. So like, after it happened, and like, she just sucked me for like a few minutes and then stopped. My nutsack hurt, and I was still like aroused, and I was hanging out with 4 like absolute dimes, and like there was just nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do.
jeez.
The whole time
that's
your
pretty
brain
much
is like,
it, though.
how can I turn this
I
into something?
look, I was kind of hinting at it because they knew, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
there is some things I could do about it, but it never happened. It never happened.
Blue balls is terrible. What about you, Jacob and Damian?
Huh?
So you want me to go? Okay. Oh man, this is very exposing. But this one time with this girl, we were kind of talking a little bit. She was really awkward, honestly.
Huh.
And I was like, "Yo, like, you want to like link up at like lunch? Like, we can go in my car and like, drive around or something." And like, how it is.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Wait
I
a
don't
f-
know. And I was like, like, it's your choice. I don't care. Like, yes or no. And she was like, okay, yeah, sure. And so I'm like, okay, I'll pick you up. And so she comes out. We go in my car, and then we like drive around the corner, right? And then I was like, you want to like get in the back seat? And she was like, okay. Like, super awkward too, by the way. And I wasn't really feeling it, but I was like, maybe. And so then like we start like making out a little bit, and then my hands wander, and I start playing the guitar,
Mm.
Strumming.
I'm playing Thunderstruck,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I like the day before, I was like, if we're gonna like do stuff, would you mind like like shaving? And she didn't,
Oh.
and it was very it was very fishy,
Mm.
Oh.
and yeah, and so like we finish up. I drive back. We say nothing, and I drop her off, and we're sweaty as fuck. And for the rest of the day, my fingers smell awful. Like, I washed my hands at least 7 times, and that shit did not go away once. So I'm sitting there
What
and
finally
staring
got
at
rid of it?
nothing. Like
Nothing.
it, like obviously,
Just
I'm
time.
sure
Still
just
smells to this
time.
day. Actually.
Just to this day.
It haunts me. And
The
Jesus.
remnants of that sea creature remain on your fingers.
yeah, and then we never talked again.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, I regret it very much. It was so dumb.
Hopefully they don't see this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope so.
Imagine popping a boner during that gay porno with your parents, though. That would suck. That would suck. That's the explanation you would need to fucking.
Oh my
But
god.
what could you? How could you even explain? You know, like, what would you even say? Like, what would
I'm
you
not
say in
gay.
that
I think
My
I
situation?
could
bad.
explain. I think I could explain to my dad, like, look, you know, this shit just happens sometimes randomly. Like, there's no, I can't
Yeah.
control it. My mom probably wouldn't understand though.
The
She'd probably
horny,
be
bro.
very upset.
Upset. You think she'd be upset?
Yeah, my mom's like a heavy Christian, so if she thought I was
Oh.
gay because I'm popping a boner during fucking two dudes railing
Horrible.
each other,
Awful.
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
that would not be fun.
Hmm.
My mom's heavy Christian too. She would be livid.
Damon, you haven't had any weird ass sexual stuff
Mm,
happen?
nothing weird. I haven't had enough to have anything be weird. You know, like
Hmm.
that's just how it is.
Okay, fair enough.
Didn't we'll call her Miriam. Didn't she
Huh?
have some weird? Didn't she have some weird stuff to say?
Who?
Miriam.
Miriam.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
Damian. Miriam.
Oh.
Miriam.
I know who Miriam is.
Just tell us. Reveal.
Miriam. I mean,
She have some-
Meerkat woman. Meerkat woman.
yeah. I don't.
We'll
I
call
mean,
her. We'll call her Joseph's husband.
Hmm.
Joseph's
You
husband.
get it? Because blank and Joseph, you know, the old tale, you know, a lot of people know about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
It's not so. You're making it very obvious.
No, I'm not. No, I'm
No,
not.
you
Nobody
always think
understands that.
you always
Nobody
think
understands
you're so
that.
slick,
Yeah.
Dane, but you're
No.
just so obvious
Look,
with things
but
sometimes.
because you have to think from an outside perspective. Like, it's because we know the name in our head that it makes it obvious, but people on the outside don't fucking understand that shit.
Okay, dude. I mean, you didn't have to
You
continue because I
have to
already
believe me.
knew.
You have to believe me.
Okay, I'm believing you. But I mean, I don't know. Nothing weird happened. It was just, I guess, average. How everyone's just into pain. It's pretty much.
What?
Is that not average?
I mean, for me, yeah.
Wait,
thought
into
that's-
pain.
Yeah.
Into
Like-
pain.
Like a masochist.
Oh.
Into pain.
That's how
I'm
everyone
so
I've been with
confused,
is.
bro.
Like getting to like
Masochist
beat the
is
shit
it.
out of?
Like getting
Not
choked
like-
and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
like,
That's actually truther. That's very
yeah.
true.
Well, not
Masochist
just that, but like,
who derives sexual gratification from being
Just like
subjected to physical
Getting
pain
stabbed to
or
the chest or
humiliation.
something?
yes.
Just hang them upside down, beat them
Exactly.
with a baseball bat.
Ooh.
What the- that would probably be the best
Um,
experience of their life.
Waterboarding?
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be
You know
cool.
what that kind of reminds me of? I don't know how
What?
this made me think of this, but there's this wrestler that I knew who used to
Uh-huh.
watch hardcore porn before every single wrestling match. He wouldn't beat his
Yeah.
dick, he would just watch hardcore porn for like 30 minutes
Uh-huh.
because I guess being aroused releases so much like what the fuck is the man chemical? What is it called again?
Dopamine?
Testosterone.
Testosterone.
Oh.
Yeah, a bunch of that shit. So it makes you into this just superhuman of a man, and he never lost a match.
Whoa.
Hardcore porn before every single match, never lost.
Porn is the answer.
Don't beat your dick. Just let the fucking testosterone and arousal just build up inside of you, and
And beat off to the opponent.
then just beat the opponent.
beat off to the opponent? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
But then somebody said they started doing that before every workout, and they've never had a better workout in their life.
Interesting, interesting.
Very interesting.
Better than protein?
Just
Knows.
hardcore porn.
Yeah.
Pre-workout, hardcore porn, all you need.
Best pre-workout you can ever get.
Oh my god. Alrighty.
Would you rather have hair nowhere on your body or be very hairy all over you and not be able to shave?
This is a stupid question. It's a dumb question. It's so obvious what everyone would choose. AKA no hair.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody was saying it, but I would take being bald 100% because you just you throw aviators on and you instantly like.
Oh god.
Pitbull, you know what I mean?
Wear a hat, something. The average receding hairline fix wearing something on your head.
Just full Johnny Sins mode.
Alrighty. So, yeah, that's been episode 2 of the Crystal Avenue podcast. You guys have anything else to say before I cut it?
Have a good one. Everyone be safe.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that was cool.
Robot, nigga.